Greetings, I hope you're well, hope you're treating yourselves well, and of course to others. My name is Clair. This is a reading for June. Very glad you're here. Of course. How exciting. As of lately, I think there's been an energy of being standoffish. People have been kind of figuring out their own energy. I don't think it has always been in a place of malice or being discontent with other people, but there sure is a lot of trying to figure out where everyone's trying to figure out where they belong, how to feel comfortable again in their own skin. I think it's just a time of everyone's running around with their head cut off in a sense. It's not bad, it's just motion. It's a bunch of mixed and mangled emotion because I think a lot of loose ends are being tied up and ships are sailing. There's just accelerated motion in every way possible to be had and everyone is involved, so there's a lot of commotion in the air and the atmosphere, a lot of thoughts, a lot of synchronicities. People are noticing more, or I think senses have been heightened a decent amount. It's kind of, it can almost be overwhelming at times, I've noticed. Just your senses have been heightened in some way, any of them, of course. But the Queen of Wands, whatever energy you possess, as whatever sex you feel you are, always these cards are just to represent the energy that you are putting out, and this is a sign of knowing when to be around, when to not be around, how to be a good friend, how to be accountable with others, good communication, communicating for better and worse, communicating in general. But let me get to the point. It was in reverse. So I think people have found it hard to say what they mean what they say. Maybe people are just, it's been a time of confusion. So whether people were in the right or wrong, everyone's been doing things. Everyone's been acting up, it's a time of reflection. And I think a lot of people have let go of individuals in their life, whether it be love or friendship. It seems like love just because of this card. And prior reading, I've done this deck before, and I completely, I acknowledge the back being very cool, but I kind of was trash talking the artwork, and I take it back. I was wrong. For some reason, I looked over this artwork today, and it was I had this weird thought. It's you're a hater. This is good. I think a lot of people are longing for deeper emotions. They maybe don't know how to give and take when it comes to feeling deeper emotions and reciprocating them, being authoritative with your thoughts, but not possessive or like having, I keep on hearing high maintenance, but, manipulative. Like, there's a good way to go about how you feel and expressing that. Even if you are awkward about it, there's always a good time to start. And even when we fall on our face trying, sometimes having the can-do attitude, having that like good attitude, if you can like progress forward after any sort of flop, like any sort of downfall, you're gonna look 10 times better, 10 times, like when you can figure out how to maneuver out of these situations swiftly, and even maybe even make those situations look funny, or probably not cool in most situations if you're having like a downfall, but if you can make it look good doing it, it's really beneficial, and every plane in every sense. Even if it doesn't come to fruition in the 3D, always, it's not going without notice that you are evolving, like that we're on this planet to evolve. Even if you don't know what your purpose is in every way, shape, or form, you're just like lost in the sauce. You're lost in this realm. Time of, if you want something, whether you know the progressive right, whatever you want to call it, the moves to get there, if you have something in your sights that you want to be serious about, feel anything towards, feel any potential towards, it is time to start. It's time to get it together. Page of Swords very strongly suggest, it is a card of having very fast motion, and sometimes without thought. It could it's just sometimes without thought, but you are, I think, in a sense, supposed to be kind of guided by your intuition right now, maybe even emotions. The actual world we live in is in such state that dealing with the reality, like you're not supposed to be, don't be delusional, don't lose it, don't don't give up on reality on us. Like, we don't want you to do anything stupid or act stupid anyway. Don't blindly go into situations. Keep the things that you know have not worked for you tight to your chest, because you will be tested. Your forward motion is being put into play by the world, I think. The Chariot is also showing up. Okay, so the Three of Pentacles showed up, and it invites us to acknowledge that things are difficult when you want to start building, and you realize the weight of what you're trying to build, but it was in reverse. You could be stalling your situation, you could be making it harder. Classic situation, thoughts are heavier than the actual action, or you're making it harder by procrastinating or putting it off. It might not feel like you're procrastinating. It might feel like you're working towards something else, or you might feel like you're working in other ways towards what you ultimately want. In some way, that kind of feels like you might be working in like small, creeping towards a bigger goal, or a roundabout. Like, you're being very roundabout, it seems, when the black and white of the actual situation, like, you might feel like you need to do all these small things in order to attain what you're going after or what you desire, but the reality is, when you have your sights set on that one thing, it is as simple as go towards that thing. You are putting these little obstacles between you and that thing because it seems like you might be frightened of the weight of what it is. Like, it is mountainous, it is grand, it is inviting you to challenge your life. Something, a test, a new test. It is an actual, like, a new test in life, which we have a bunch of small things that we've gone through in life, but this is a monument. Like, this is something you'll look back on, and I think your future self will be like, I'm glad I did that at that point in time, or they'll be like, man, I should have done that sooner. So, like, I feel, because you had the Eight of Swords in reverse, so, and Strength. So I think your lack of wanting to see clarity in a situation has buckled you down to the hurt of it. I said in a recent reading that some people have been carrying their swords for so long, they've been impaled by their own sword that they have held, because they feel as though if they were to take it out, they might bleed out. You feel more comfortable in whatever you're dealing with just because it is familiar. It is devastating to realize that sometimes things we've been working on have put us in the place, like the things that we have earnestly been working towards have put us in the place that is not so favorable. I think you have memories that keep you happy and sad at the same time. You have memories of probably better times. It's nostalgia. Six of Cups is nostalgia heavy. It is looking back on when things were easier or less complicated. Maybe you are kind of fed up with having to think so much about every action that you've been compelled to do lately, or just everything that you've dealt with in life. It always seemed more simple, or you don't understand why this has been so complicated as of lately, or why it has to be so complicated. It might seem convoluted, like your memories are keeping you happy, but they also are frustrating because you don't understand why they are memories, or the past doesn't seem like it should be so far off. Like, you feel such a distance and such a standoffishness, or there's insecurity, defensiveness towards something in the past. I would assume the thing from the past probably plays a role in your future, or in a lesson that you have for the future. Let's see. The Chariot again. These cards are just beating down the point. Your forward motion is key for your peace of mind. You are not escaping the Wheel of Fortune on the bottom. You are not escaping this. I would have to assume you know what you're dealing with, or this thing that you want is probably difficult. The Wheel of Fortune and the Chariot, yeah, it has to be, because these things are major cards. These are very big life events, so they come with a price, and maybe you didn't think you could afford that price, in proverbial or actual sense, like maybe in every way you don't feel like you could deserve or afford that, what you're wanting or trying to go towards, but that is your mind. That is that's a mindset that is keeping you in the place that you are. And the longer you stay in this place, the more the wands will pile up on you, the more defensive you're going to feel towards it. no one is, life is working with you. You're like, you have major cards, so you're definitely in tune with life in some way. And you have the strength. Oh my gosh, and you had it reversed earlier. So maybe you're coming into a time of understanding your strengths, or understanding the strength of positive movement forward. Maybe you've moved forward in ways that you thought were going to work out, and you realize that just didn't kind of align with who you are now or what you want now. It's a evolution, very big evolution. I think you are still dealing with a lot of thoughts that kind of weigh down your process, and if you were to kind of let some of those go, then you could go forward faster, especially if you could let go of whatever you've been thinking about, whether you've been betrayed, you've done betraying, or situations have fallen to the wayside, they have been let go, they were a facade, you were lied to, you failed. Whatever the situation was, it doesn't have to be serious. It can be serious, but it is going to be. It is serious, even if it doesn't seem like it. Strength. Page of Swords. Oh my gosh. So you literally I did 3 decks and you got probably maybe 4 cards in variety. Like, the same cards amongst 4 different decks, or 3 different decks. You got the Page of Swords. So whatever idea you have, whether it be fresh ideas on how to approach it, or an old idea, new idea, try everything. You need to go about it in a sense of being new, even if it is something you've been tackling for just the longest time ever. You need to approach it in new ways, or you need to take the things that you've learned recently or along the whole time and actually apply them now. If you have been doing such a thing of like creating little small trials and obstacles on your path, thinking that would help you get closer to your goal, it's time to realize that that's not the case. You have what it takes to start now on this actual thing, and it is a deficit to assume that you need to do a bunch of other things in order to deserve access to this, or in order to start this. Whether you're lying to yourself or you actually feel these things, you could just be like nervous. It's fine. Like, just start in whatever way that you know you can towards. It's in your mind. It's like, it's a thought. You are actually really, it's something that comes up reoccurring thought. So if you want to alleviate that, action. It's time to put action. Not sure what it means, but I know I mean it. So I wish you the best, and you gotta know I love you. Pile 2, we're talking about June. Welcome. Okay. What's going on? So, you have felt everything and anything. I just flipped this both ways, and let me just show you. It's usually like mostly down facing, and then so I flipped it over because I was like, oh, okay, I just did them the wrong way. Okay, so you might be a bit of an open book as of lately. You could have felt everything and anything that there was to feel. I think you're someone who's definitely been through it all. I think you're willing to show that. You could be on a stage. You could feel like your ideas okay, I figured it out. We're back. That took a very long time. There was a ton of sirens that just went by. You could have a lot of noise around you. This could be a time of, no doubt, a ton of confusion. You're moving a lot. Maybe you're having a lot of fast forward motion. You're having to be in front of people. I think you're having to be very social, whether you want to or not. You could be graduating soon or getting into a new job, building on something new, being in a new team. There's new social endeavors to be had. You got the Queen of Wands, which I think I expressed in the other pile, is just an energy. It's a person embodying these energies. Gosh. You could feel like you have people on your back. Maybe you are trying to do your own thing and you feel like you've got people hot on your pursuit. Maybe you have like just the most annoying lifestyle as of right now. Maybe you've been trying to build towards something that you feel is real in your life and everything around you is pushing back. It feels as though just you have this wand in your hand, which is the thought. It's like a thought. It is something you want to put action towards. It's just a representation of your desires, and life is just, or like people around you, life is just like, gah, stop that. And I think that really you're feeling judged. You're feeling as though maybe life is judging you. Judgment is showing its head, rearing itself to, you could be feeling pretty defensive about the situation. Definitely, maybe you made a bad decision. Maybe you made a decision too late. Maybe you failed to make a choice in something. You chose wrong. You're feeling as though you're kind of, like I just dropped all the cards. Maybe you're like really just not in your element as of lately. Everything you've been putting your effort towards has grown against you or not grown at all. And it's tiring. You could have also felt kind of ill as of lately. You could have had like reoccurring sicknesses and you're just kind of like, when is it going to give? I think this might be a final test in order for you to receive, because there's no doubt, because every time when we did that little like pile thing, this is all you're capable of. You've got the world in your grasp, and I no doubt feel that you have so much power at your fingertips. This is just such a metal card, but power. You have been through the Nine of Wands to get to this point. You have no doubt deserved to get as far as you have, even if you have not been a great person or made bad decisions along the way. I think you are reaching one of your tests to see how much you've learned from that. Like, the 9 of Wands is the final step. It is feeling the weight of all the things you've been through. It is feeling weighed down by stress, anxiety, being perplexed by how you might feel like, how am I still going? So you could feel like a sense of accomplishment, but still at the same time, it's like, tired. I'm tired of this. I don't want to go through these motions anymore. I want to see results, or I want to do what I want to do. I'm tired of people just doing things around me, having their own motives. Just an environment that is not conducive to peace and tranquility or growing. I think you are being tested is what it truly feels like. I feel this is one of your major tests in life to see how much you have learned. You could no doubt have sort of a mentality of, you could feel low at times, or you could have a sense of feeling accomplished because you've gone through all these things, but you have to keep a mindset of, there's this one wand, and this one wand is going to be heavier than those other 9 that you've hit so far. It is the final wand. If you fail this, I'm not going to say you're starting at the beginning, but it's not going to feel good. You are on this path for real. Like, this isn't a dang joke. This is reality. The Page of Wands is having an idea and moving forward. He doesn't always know. A hasty movement forward, doesn't always fully think out the process. So you're being invited to have well-rounded thought about your next move, how you want to treat your next move, how you're going to treat yourself in the next move. It all matters. Like, it's, even your thoughts are being judged. Nothing goes untouched in spirit. You think you're getting away with stuff because you didn't see repercussion for it at the time, or it's like that kind of thought of like, what's right and wrong? Like, because we could do that all day. Who's to know in a lot of situations? And as of life lately, like, things have gotten extremely convoluted. It's hard to know when people are being overly sensitive, when you're being overly sensitive, how to feel in a lot of situations. But knowing the right and wrongs of situations is in your capacity. You have gotten to those 9 of Wands because you've gotten that far by passing those tests. And even if you didn't pass those tests with flying colors, at the end of the day, those small habits that we keep build us. Like, they don't go, the people that we keep around us, 3 of Cups, are a reflection of us. They help build us and or break us down. They help us realize things that are common and or not fruitful or uncommon to deal with. Perspective is very good in this situation. Understanding that people are good could also be good, helpful. Sorry, I don't try not to repeat the same words 1,000 billion times, but I think if you've been betrayed a lot by people, keeping ahead of, there will be others at some point, even if not right now. Maybe your task is to find strength within yourself, or maybe your task is to be able to trust other people for once, or start again. Everyone is very vast, but just keeping that mindset of knowing when to be around and when not to be around, how to treat people. How to invest in people, how much to invest in people. You could be in a very social environment, or your job could be a very social thing where you have to know, just like the gift of gab, how to finesse, not people, you're not getting people for what they've got, but you have to know how to be around people, how to be in the picture, give, so people want to be around you. I think you've kind of got it in the bag, or you're learning to, but not how to spread yourself thin, or be like manipulative or arrogant. Maybe you could be going through all these things and feeling like a sense of accomplishment, so you don't feel such a connection with people as of lately, or you have like this kind of sense where you feel like almost crazy, like, Joker mode. Like you feel like a little bit too much or something like that. Keep your head on straight. Just know that people aren't out to get you, that there are a lot of people out there like you, even if you feel like you're very weird, like if you are a very weird bird, there are people out there that are exactly like you, and that might even be searching for you. Who knows? This life is very interesting, but keep your emotions, I wanted to say, on your sleeve. So I think maybe something that is a quality of yours is being very highly emotional, or keeping situations lighthearted, fun-loving. Don't become hardened. I think you being fun helps you and others. I think you can easily slip down a path of destructiveness, and that will lead to more of that in every way. Like, it will attract those sort of people, it will attract that sort of attention, or life will just block you off from all of it in general, and you'll just have to you'll be forced into your like a timeout or whatever is your fate. But I think change is upon us. The tower, I like the tower. There's rarely a tower card that I've come up against that I was like, meh. But yeah, it's the tower, and it's adorable. I think you're gonna have things that come up and test you, and you might actually find it to be charming or like, thrilling, that you can like bob and weave and zig and zag and like get through all these things, maybe with ease, where you maybe struggled at one point. Maybe it was really hard for you to understand these situations, or get through them for whatever reason. But I think you're finding kind of resonance, like you're feeling maybe a sense of kind of like owning the situation. It looks good on you. This card is, I think you realized how attractive you are when you are not being defensive. The Queen of Swords was in reverse, and I certainly think that you are leaning into the idea of being bubbly, or not bubbly, but like smiling more, or not thinking so heavily on the situation when you're going into situations, not having expectations, not having any sort of prior thought. Like, if you have a thing where you overthink, maybe you're kind of just taking a deep breath and learning how to tuck your sword. Like, it's almost like the words are not hitting me correctly. So it could just be like, you're understanding that life, how to be more like fluid in life, how to be more attractive in life, how to feel more attractive in your skin, or just like flow in your skin better. Because when, like, sometimes when people are wearing clothes, you're like, those clothes are very much wearing those people and they do not look the part. But sometimes people wear clothes, and even if they would not look good in many situations, the way that the person has them on is just, it's there, it's doing it. It's not asking, it's just a part. You could be going out more frequently, or dancing more. I think you could be singing more. You could find love, or someone that you find a lot of passion with. I think you are coming back to situations. There's kind of like a feeling of like going back around to things that were not detrimental in your life. I would never suggest going towards something that was like, there's an evolution, okay? I don't have anything to say. What I truly feel is that there's kind of like circles that are being made. Maybe people are circling around to things, situations, places they've been, things they want to see again, things they want to do again, conversations they want to have. It's just a time of regeneration, and trying again, or breathing new air into things. Like, it's maybe you're going to old stomping grounds. Maybe you are looking into old places that you used to go to find new housing, or like, let's see. I think you want to do a lot of stuff too. Like, there's a lot of moving parts and pieces. You could be just wanting to like stabilize some of your thoughts. Maybe you have had a lot of goals and you're just kind of finally putting them. Oh my gosh, yeah, the Three of Pentacles. I think you are less fearful of the terrain in front of you. I really liked this analogy of you've hit the summit of a mountain and you're starting to see the potential and things that you've seen before, and or the beauty of trial and error, or like getting to the top, but earning the top. So you've hit the summit of the mountain and you're seeing the beauty. You could be like overwhelmed and just like inspired, but not even understanding, but you're seeing things clearer, and you see other things to attain. You see other mountains, other trials, other things that you could want. So it's a time of exploring. I think it's a time of newness, even in things that have not, maybe because it's a time of newness and rebirth. It's a good feeling. You could be enjoying nights more frequently. You could be staying up later. You could be growing stuff, growing with people, learning a skill with someone. But it's a time of fun and lightheartedness. So being going with the flow is, I think, in our best interests as of these days. So you gotta know I love you.